Hey everybody, my name is Phil.
I'm Erika.
And today we're finally watching Oppenheimer. Let's dive in. Apparently a big thing in this film is that a lot of it was practical, like not a lot of special effects. And there was so many jokes about it, like people died filming this because they wanted to make it all practical.
Are they really going to ask about it? It was years ago. 4 years ago. 5.
Oppenheimer still divides America. The committee's going to want to know where you stood. Admiral Strauss, this is a formality. President Eisenhower's asked you to be in his cabinet. The Senate really has no choice but to confirm him.
I wanted to study the new physics.
Was there nowhere here? I thought Berkeley had the leading theoretical physics department.
Yes, once I had built it. First I had to go to Europe. I went to Cambridge to study under Patrick Blackett. Useless in the lab.
Royce Oppenheimer. Have you had any sleep?
I need to go to the lecture, sir. Why? It's Niels Bohr.
Whoa, the Bohr?
It's crazy.
You finished coaching those plates.
Did no one know that he was there? He's the only guy that knew? Teacher's pet. Oh. Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay. Damn.
He's gonna take it back, right? This is just like...
Einstein's opened the door. Now we are peering through, seeing a world inside our world, a world of energy and paradox that not everyone can accept.
So he was like thinking about all of this before. And it kept him up at night, no wonder.
I guess he invented it? Is that the thing? Like, that's pretty scary to think that you could blow up that much.
But I mean, he was already, it seems like he was already thinking about stuff like this before.
Oh, he's like, thank God, the apple's still
Ooh.
What's the J stand for?
Nothing.
I heard you give the same
At
lecture.
Harvard, yes, and you ask the same question. Why ask
Bohr.
again?
No!
Not even.
Don't tell me this is a true story, this part.
So get out of Cambridge with its beakers and potions. Go somewhere they let you think. Göttingen. Born. Get to Germany, study under Max Born, learn the ways of theory. I'll send word.
It's the guy from Harry Potter.
Oh my God, here we go.
I know, yeah.
Here we
All
go.
the time. Yeah,
As long as we see a castle, it's like, okay, who here is from Harry Potter?
No, I'm serious. Harry Potter casted a lot of people. But I swear he's the guy
Pretty
from... Okay.
It's like
Okay, I'll
Cedric
just shut
Diggory,
my mouth.
right?
No! The Fancy Dark Arts teacher,
Yeah.
that guy, the ginger,
Yeah, the
copy
pretty boy,
one.
right?
The copy one ended up being a fraud.
Yeah.
You see it too. You see it too. Okay.
Yeah, this guy still, does he blink? Did he have relationships? It's crazy. Crazy.
We're commissioner of the Atomic Energy Commission.
I was, but I actually met Robert in my capacity as board member of the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton, because after the war, he was world-renowned, the great man of physics, and I was determined to get him to run the Institute.
I'm president of Temple Emmanuel in Manhattan. Strauss is just the southern pronunciation. Anyway, welcome to the Institute. I think you could be very happy here. Yes, well, you'll love the commute. The position comes with that house for you and your wife.
Wow.
And your two
Hey,
children.
okay. Wife and children.
Great.
They really didn't walk like that. Hands behind their backs, and they just grew up to walk like that in their older
Forever,
years.
yeah. My son's just on these grounds.
Yeah. Well, I guess at the Institute.
Albert.
Oh,
Beef.
what did he say?
It's beef.
Yes, say to him.
Told me he was washed.
Oh, he's fine.
Oh,
Well, as chairman of the AEC, I have access to your security file. I've read it.
You're not worried.
Why would I be worried after everything you've done for your country?
Well, times change, Mr. Strauss.
Well, the purpose of this institute is to provide a haven for independent minds.
I'll see you at the AAC meeting tomorrow.
This is one of the most prestigious appointments in the country.
Yes, it was a great commute. That's why I'm considering it.
Doctor, your time in Europe, you seem to meet with a wide range of other countries' physicists.
Yes, that's right.
Any Russians?
If you'll just allow me to continue with my
Mr.
statement.
Robb, you'll have ample opportunity to cross-examine.
After Göttingen, I moved on to Leiden in Holland, where I first met Isidore Rabi.
Excuse me. It's a long way to Zurich. If you get any skinnier, we're gonna lose you between the seat cushions.
Just say
I'm Robbie.
10 things I hate about you. The friend. No.
Caught some of it. For a couple of
Screw
meal
up.
cues, how do you know Dutch?
I thought I'd better learn it when I got here this semester.
You learn
Cool.
enough Dutch in 6 weeks to get a lecture on quantum mechanics.
I wanted to challenge myself.
Quantum physics wasn't challenging enough. You homesick?
Oh, you know it.
Ever get the feeling our kind isn't entirely welcome here?
Physicists.
It's funny.
On to the department.
They're all Jewish, too. Eat. This is German you have to seek out.
Heisenberg.
Right.
I'm the one who knocks.
Heisenberg.
Speculations seem to us, to say it explicitly, fruitless. Thank you. Have a great day.
Have you seen him blink?
I'm gonna watch out for him now.
Doesn't look like Heisenberg. Where's his hat?
Oppenheimer, yes. I liked your paper on molecules.
Probably because you inspired it.
If I inspire anything else, let me know. We could publish together.
Whoa.
There it is. Okay.
Why? There's no one there taking quantum mechanics seriously.
That's exactly why.
He's pining for the canyons of Manhattan.
On returning to America, I accepted positions at both Caltech and up at Berkeley.
Both.
Ooh.
You must be Oppenheimer.
Yes,
I hear you want to start a school of quantum theory.
I am starting it next door.
They put you in there.
I asked for it.
Josh?
No.
Experimentalists.
First name basis?
Anti-aging
Joshua?
machine?
Got my first in an hour.
Seminar.
Pupil.
One student. That's it?
I'm teaching something no one here has dreamt of. But once people start hearing what you can do with it,
There's no going back.
He's definitely aged.
Mr. Lomnitz?
Nah. Yeah.
This is it, please. Take a seat.
He didn't know he was the only
One student,
person.
Yeah.
Ah,
Ah.
Hey.
Mr. Lomnitz.
Is that how classes
It'll be okay.
are built? Like word of mouth?
Now let's consider burning an
It's
outer
also probably
space fire
Oppenheimer's
pushing upwards
passion.
against its own gravity. Balanced.
And they just
That
paid
gets
him to teach it?
students
But if that
talking.
furnace cools, and gravity starts
Oh, you
winning,
mean
it
like
contracts.
his enthusiasm, his teaching style.
You shouldn't let them bring their politics in the classroom, Oppie.
Oppie.
Lawrence, you embrace the revolution in physics. Can you see it everywhere else?
Keep it out of the lab.
Well, out of the lab, my landlady is having a discussion group tonight. Interested?
I have sampled the Berkeley political scene. It's all just philosophy postgrads and communists talking integration.
Robert, I want you to meet Chevalier. Dr. Hopkins Chevalier, Dr. Robert Oppenheimer.
Pleasure. Pleasure. This is my little brother, Frank. And this is...
Still Jackie.
Hello, still Jackie.
What have you heard?
That you're teaching a radical new approach to physics. I have no chance of understanding, but I hadn't heard you were a party member.
But I'm not.
Oh, not yet.
Frank and I are thinking of joining. Just the other day.
I support a range of causes.
Spanish Civil War. Well, if you're going to send money to Spain, do it through the Communist Party. They can get it to the front lines.
Very savvy with these.
I'm Jean.
Robert.
Oh, Count Chevalier. Union meeting.
Is that?
Yes, my girl crush.
Oh my gosh.
Know enough about it.
Oh, I've...
What a cast. Josh Hartnett.
I'm committed to thinking freely about how to improve our world.
This is the wife.
Why limit yourself to one dogma?
You're a physicist. You pick and choose rules?
Hmm.
Or do you use the discipline to channel your energies into progress?
We just met.
That's how you know it's chemistry.
It's physics.
I like my wiggle room too.
Okay, yeah.
They wiggling.
They wiggling.
They wiggling.
They wiggle in. Kate Bishop. That's it. I was just like, I was in here.
For a physicist.
You only have a shelf full of Freud?
Oh.
I didn't expect to see you today.
Do I have to make an appointment?
Alvarez?
Cut and dash.
Oh, just piecing out.
They've done it. Han and Strassman in Germany. They split the uranium nucleus.
Hmm.
How? Bombarding with neutrons.
It's a nuclear fission. They did it. They split the atom.
It's not possible.
Fission. He's doing the maths.
See? Can't be done.
But it is done.
Very elegant. Quite clear. There's just one problem.
Where?
Next door.
They're doing it? Wow.
Oh, that quick?
Well, they published the results, right? How to do it.
Massive.
Oh, I don't know.
I've seen.
Extra neutrons boil off, which could be used to split other uranium atoms.
Chain reaction. You're thinking what I'm thinking.
It's incredible.
Every other physicist around the world has seen the news.
I'm just what? What do we all think?
A bomb. Alvarez. A bomb. Teachers are unionized. Why not professors?
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Lawrence, academics have rights too.
Look, it's not that. I've got a group coming.
Oh, I'll sit in.
Not this one.
Richard, you tell Ruth I'll be down in Pasadena Thursday.
The one that just passed. Is that Papa? From
No.
Stranger Things?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really take a look. Oh. I published?
Get Hartland. Get Hartland.
We've been upstage.
Ooh.
During the Battle of Britain, I found myself increasingly out of sympathy with the policy of neutrality. I need to make clear that my changing views on Russia did not mean a sharp break from those who held different views. For a year or two, and during a previous marriage,
Didn't even know she was there.
being a Communist Party member.
That's his wife now.
I thought this was the Coleman's house.
I live with them while I'm at Caltech.
Do you two need anything?
Look at Ruthie.
What the heck?
I know.
You're a biologist.
Seems baffling.
Yes, it is.
Where have we seen her in? I mean, I know we know her, but...
This glass. This drink. This countertop.
Is she an assistant?
Our bodies. Forces of attraction.
I was thinking that this was John Krasinski's wife. No? It's not?
Matter is solid. Stop my body passing through yours.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Then we've seen her in a lot.
Yeah, but I just can't remember what she's been in right now.
Devil Wears Prada? I don't think that's her. The more I see her.
I know, you're right. Oh, she married. Oh. No, I don't think so.
No,
but
it's not her.
I've definitely seen her before.
Handing out the day. My husband offered both our futures to stop one fascist bullet from embedding itself in a mud bank. That's the definition of nothing.
It's a crazy way of thinking of it.
Now here I am.
I didn't want you to hear it from anyone else.
I mean, did she even want him?
Bring me flowers.
I think it's because she knew he didn't want him to do all these nice things. And
He knocked her up.
Oh.
Can't keep a good man down.
wow.
She knew what she wanted. What about the husband?
We talked very
Dang.
One day you might need them.
So you can just get divorced like that back then.
Engineers, chemists, and technicians.
He's bringing it to the lab.
It's a trade union.
Filled with communists.
So I haven't joined the party.
They won't let me bring you onto the project because of this shit. They won't even let me tell you what the project is.
Oh, I know what the project is.
Oh, really?
We've all heard about Einstein and Ziller's letter to Roosevelt warning him the Germans could make a bomb, and I know what it means for the Nazis to have a bomb.
But I don't.
It's not your people they're herding into camps. It's mine.
The next time you're coming home from a meeting, why don't you take a look in the rearview mirror? Listen to the sounds on your phone line and stop being so goddamn naive.
Why would they care what I do?
Because you're not just self-important, you're actually important.
Yours, you don't have to worry, it's done. Lawrence.
Then welcome to the war.
I filled out my first security questionnaire and was informed that my involvement with the left-wing groups would not prove a bar to my working on the atomic program.
After the war, Dr. Oppenheimer was the most respected scientific voice in the world. That's why I asked him to run the institute. That's why he advised the Atomic Energy Commission. Simple as that. Some former staff member of the Joint Congressional Committee was a rabid anti-communist named Borton. He wrote to the FBI demanding they take action.
What did Borden have against Oppenheimer?
This is the McCarthy era. People hounded out of jobs for any hint of red. Reading Oppenheimer's security file of his communist brother, sister-in-law, fiance, best friend, wife.
How would Borden have access to Oppenheimer's security file?
Because somebody gave it to him. Somebody who wanted Robert silenced.
Who?
Who knows? Robert didn't take care not to upset the power brokers in Washington. His opinions on the atom became definitive.
Kitty. Roger. I'm in. I'm in.
Let's celebrate.
Shouldn't you go to him?
I have been going to him all fucking day.
Oh my gosh. The baby just like in a bassinet in the back. Oh my god.
Parsley's back there.
Oh, baby. Here.
Take Peter.
Wow.
For a while. Look,
What?
a while. We're awful people. Selfish, awful people. Forget I asked.
Selfish, awful people. They don't know they're selfish and awful.
That's so gracious.
Robert, you see beyond the world we live in. There is a price to be paid for that. Of course, we'll help you.
Wow. Oh, that's so kind.
Reforming. This is your moment.
Is it?
Who is this? I know. Who is it? They really look like her in the night scene.
Dr. Oppenheimer. Colonel Grove.
What? Wait, don't check the cast. Don't check the cast anymore. Who knows who else is in this?
Is it Colonel
DiCaprio.
Rhodes?
Lieutenant Colonel, I'd hate to see how you treat a humble physicist.
Oh, if I ever meet one, I'll let you know. Now I'm looking for a project director.
When my name came up,
Nope. Even though you brought quantum physics to America, which made me curious.
what have you found out?
You're a dilettante, a womanizer, a suspected communist.
I'm a New Deal Democrat.
I said suspected. Now, the only person who had anything good to say was Richard Tolman. Tolman thinks you have integrity, but he also strikes me as a guy who knows more about science than people.
Yet here you are. You don't take much on trust.
I don't take anything on trust. Why don't you have a Nobel Prize?
Why aren't you a general?
They're making me one for this.
Perhaps I'll have the same luck.
A Nobel Prize for making a bomb?
Alfred Nobel invented dynamite.
Interesting.
You're talking about turning theory into a practical weapon system faster than the Nazis.
Who have a 12-month head start.
Jeez.
How could you possibly know that?
Our fast neutron research took took 6 months. The man they've undoubtedly put in charge would have made that leap instantly. Who do you think they put in charge? Werner Heisenberg.
Wow.
He is the most intuitive understanding of atomic structure I have ever seen. We've got one hope, which is anti-Semitism. What? Hitler called quantum physics Jewish science, said it right to Einstein's face. Our one hope is that Hitler is so blinded by hate that he's denied Heisenberg proper resources, because it'll take vast resources. Our nation's best scientists working together right now, they're scattered. All minds have to see the whole task to contribute efficiently. Poor security may cost us the race. Inefficiency will. The Germans know more than us anyway. The Russians don't. Remind me, who are we at war with?
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be seen downplaying the importance of security from our communist allies.
But I can run the Manhattan Project. There's a way to balance these things. And it comes together here. A secret laboratory. In the middle of nowhere, secure, self-sufficient. Equipment, housing, works. Keep everyone there until it's done. We'll need a school, stores, a church.
Wow.
If we don't let scientists bring their families, we'll never get the best. If you want security, build a town, build it fast.
Interesting.
Where? Nothing. 40 miles. Any direction. I have to find the perfect spot. 4
tests. Yeah.
Build them a town. Fast. You know isotopes, and you know explosives better than anyone in the world.
But you can't tell us what you're doing.
Connect the dots.
Oh, yeah.
Niels Bohr's in Copenhagen. Under Nazi occupation, did they stop printing newspapers in Princeton? It's about unleashing a strong force before the Nazis do. Oh my God.
What?
No, never.
Another Josh.
They have them. We don't. That's why I need you.
Why would you think I'd do that?
Why? Why? How about because this is the most important fucking thing to ever happen in the history of the world? How about that?
It's like he's mad at Jimmy Kimmel or something.
4 divisions. Experimental, theoretical, metallurgical.
Who's running theoretical?
I am.
That's what I was afraid of. You're spread too thin. I'm not coming here, Robert.
Why not?
You drop a bomb, it falls on the just and the unjust. I don't wish the culmination of 3 centuries of physics to be a weapon of mass destruction.
I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon. But I know the Nazis can't. We have no choice.
The second thing you have to do is appoint Hans Bethe to run the theoretical division.
Wait, what was the first?
Take off that ridiculous uniform. You're a scientist.
There we go. Put your Heisenberg on.
So we will work here until the T section at Los Alamos is finished. Edward, can I please?
More important, when I calculated the chain reaction, I found a rather troubling possibility.
No, this can't be right. This is fantasy. Teles calculations can't be right.
Do them yourself while I go to Princeton.
What for?
To talk to Einstein.
Well, there's not much common ground between you two.
That's where I should get his view.
So good.
Dr. Oppenheimer. Well,
What a kitty.
You walk here most days.
Trees are the most inspiring structures.
What? Whose work is this?
Tellers. Criticality. Point of no return, massive explosive force. But this time, the chain reaction doesn't stop.
It would ignite the atmosphere.
When we detonate an atomic device, we might start a chain reaction that destroys the world. And if the truth is catastrophic.
Then you stop and you share your findings with the Nazis.
Why?
So, yeah. So they both stop?
Oh, to say like, this is what we can do to you?
No. Like this is the this is like the end of your research.
Right.
It's going to end this way.
Because it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We're all dead.
Till we actually detonate one of these things, the best assurance you're going to get is this. Near zero.
That's wild. And they did all this by hand.
No Texas Instrument for them.
The Oppenheimer situation highlights the tension between scientists and the security apparatus in hopes of learning how the nominee handled such issues during his time in the AEC.
It sounds like this is the furthest in the future. Why is it black and white?
They haven't said. No presidential cabinet nominee has failed to be confirmed since 1925. This is just how the game is played. It's in the bag, Lewis, so play nice.
So funny that they called him
Oppie. Well, I'm just giving her slang today.
Is it her?
All it needs is a saloon.
I just want to hug that baby.
Using U-235, the bomb will need a... Gadget will need a 33-pound sphere about this size.
He said the bomb, he's like, the gadget.
10 pounds. Here's the amount of uranium Oak Ridge refined all of last month.
Jeez. For an entire month.
Hanford plant made this much plutonium.
How about we leave it with something new? Such as? Instead of uranium or plutonium, we use hydrogen.
There it is.
Heavy hydrogen. Deuterium. We compact the atoms together under great pressure to induce a fusion reaction.
Tell her.
Then we'll get not kilotons, but megatons.
So
how do you
generate enough force to fuse hydrogen atoms?
a small fission bomb?
Wow.
Well, since we're going to need one anyway, we get back to the business.
It's just not as big as the one that they're thinking.
That he's thinking.
Catch me up. What do we know?
One of our B-29s over the North Pacific has detected radiation.
Do we have the filter papers?
There's no doubt what this is.
White House solicitors sit down. The Russians have a bomb. We're supposed to be years ahead of them, but what were you guys doing at Los Alamos? Wasn't security tight?
Of course it was. You weren't there.
Forgive me, Doctor. But I was there.
We can now consider the actual mechanics of detonation.
Any ideas?
Okay.
General Grills have been holding cross-divisional open discussions on a nightly basis.
Shut them down. Compartmentalization is the key to maintaining security.
Who presumably communicate with subordinates.
I don't like it. You don't like anything enough for that to be a fair test.
Once a week.
I still haven't heard that my security clearance has been approved.
It hasn't.
I'm going to Chicago tomorrow.
No, you should wait.
You are aware that the Nazis have a 2-year head start.
Dr. Oppenheimer, the fact that your security clearance is proving difficult to obtain is not my fault. Too many compartmentalization was supposed to be the protocol.
We were in a race against the Nazis.
Now the race is against the Soviets.
Unless we started.
Robert, they just fired the starting gun. What's the nature of the device they detonated?
Data indicates it may have been a plutonium implosion device.
Like the one you built at Los Alamos. The Russians have a bomb. Truman needs to know what's next.
What's next? Arms talks. Arms talks. Obviously. We still don't know if a hydrogen bomb is technically feasible.
Right, my understanding is that Teller proposed it.
Yes.
At Los Alamos.
Teller's designs have always been wildly impractical. You'd have to deliver by ox cart, not airplane.
Because if it can put us ahead again, the President of the United States needs to know about it. And if the Russians know about it already from a spy at Los Alamos, then we got to get going.
There's no proof there was a spy at Los Alamos.
Robert.
Who do you think it is?
They put it under the football stadium?
His name?
Field's not in use anymore.
The friend.
As well.
It's probably him. He accidentally said something, maybe.
Oh, Chevalier.
Who could think straight in a place like that? Huh? Everybody will go crazy.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Cillian. Are you going to try it out?
Hey, Rami Malek.
Egyptian things.
Nuclear chain reaction.
Pyramids, Rami Malek.
What the hell are you doing in Chicago?
Visiting the Met.
Why?
You
can't.
Why?
Because we have every right.
You have just the rights that I give you. No more, no less.
We are adults trying to run a project here. This is ridiculous.
Juno. She's from Juno.
Compartmentalization is the protocol we agreed to.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This madhouse, nobody can work under these conditions. You know what? Generalissimo, I quit.
Can you? Can you?
Yeah.
After everything you know?
You get debriefed, and then there's rules.
I was aware that there were suspicions about him. I was aware he had a very extreme liberal background.
In your opinion, would he ever consciously commit a disloyal act?
I would be amazed if he did.
General, did your security officers on the project advise you against the clearance of Dr. Oppenheimer?
They could not and would not clear him until I insisted.
And it's safe to say that you had a pretty good knowledge of Dr. Oppenheimer's security file.
I did.
In light of the current AEC guidelines, would you clear Dr. Oppenheimer today?
Do you have the guidelines? I'd like to remind you what we talked about in Berkeley.
Compartmentalization, I understand completely. To do so, I am going to have to share a few things that General Groves told me not to. Sorry, General, I said I understood, not that I agreed. Okay. Gentlemen, business.
I seem to remember you demanding your brother come to Los Alamos.
My brother had left the party by then.
What about Lomanitz?
Lomanitz was never employed at Los Alamos. He was a liaison.
What is that supposed to mean? We've all read his file here. Do we need to talk about Jean Tatlock?
Ex-wife.
The Chevalier incident?
You said in your statement that you had to see Jean Tatlock in 1943.
Oh. Okay.
I wrote.
Pages of nothing.
But also, didn't she know that he was gonna get married and have a kid? So.
Why did you have to see her?
She had indicated a great desire to see me before we left. At that time, I couldn't, but I felt that she had to see me. You asked me to come. And I'm glad I did. But I can't see you.
Yeah, he is.
But what if I need you?
Really? Oh.
I can make the last train back to Princeton.
You sit there, day after day, letting them pick our lives to pieces. Why won't you fight?
Dr. Oppenheimer, it's an honor.
Please, take a seat.
I just wanted to check whether I should talk to Lomanitz while I'm here, given your concerns.
I'd say that's really up to you, Professor, but I'd be cautious.
You went back the next morning.
I did. I had to, really. This time there's another man.
You met Colonel Pash?
Colonel Pash, would you please read from your memo dated June 29, 1943?
Who's this now?
Results of surveillance conducted on subject indicate further possible Communist Party connections.
I would never put you in a room with Pash.
Ben Affleck?
When Pash first heard about Lomanitz,
His brother.
Hold on, I'm not understanding what's happening.
kidnap him, take him out on a boat, and interrogate him in the Russian manner.
General Groves has placed in me a certain responsibility. It's like having a child who I can't see by remote control.
Now, when the FBI pointed out that such information wouldn't be admissible in court, Pash made it clear he had no intention of leaving any witness left to prosecute. Now, the FBI talked him down, but that's the man you're dancing with.
I gather you've heard there are other parties interested in the work of the radiation lab.
This is a man who has killed communists with his own hands.
Not the judge of who should or should not have information. It's my business to stop it from going through illegally.
I was attempting to give them Eltonton without opening a can of worms. I told them a cock and bull story. If I seem uncooperative, I think you can understand it's because of my insistence in not getting innocent people into trouble.
You're trying to protect your friend. Who's protecting you?
Oh, you could.
If you gave me the name.
If you order me to, I'll do it.
That's a mistake, Robert. You need to volunteer this name.
In the months in between your interview with Dr. Oppenheimer and his eventual naming of Chevalier, did you expend resources trying to find the name of the intermediary?
Considerable resources, yes. I was gone by the time Oppenheimer finally offered it up.
Gone.
They felt my time would be better spent in Europe determining the status of the Nazi bomb project.
Who did?
General Groves. He transferred me to London.
Early Christmas present for you all.
Hey, boys.
Is it big enough
To end the war.
to end all war?
Did he mention gaseous diffusion?
He seemed more focused on heavy water.
As a moderator?
Yes, instead of graphite.
What? He took a wrong turn. We're ahead.
Hmm.
Are you here to help us, Niels?
So could you give us a moment, gentlemen? I'm not here to help Robert. I knew you could do this without me.
Why did you come?
To talk about after. The power you're about to reveal will forever outlive the Nazis. And the world is not prepared. It's a new world. I'll be out there doing what I can, but you're an American Prometheus. The man who gave them the power to destroy themselves.
Robert.
Robert.
Oh, sure. What?
Oh, this one you heard about. About Jean?
I found her yesterday in the bath.
Oh, geez, that's how she did it?
She took barbiturates, but there was chlorine hydrate in her blood.
Oh, God.
Oh.
There was a note.
Who was it?
No, it was me.
You don't get to commit the sin and then have us all feel sorry for you that it had consequences.
Yikes.
You pull yourself together.
Damn.
Tell us not helping.
Never mind. That's not familiar too.
I've been asking for calculations on the implosion lenses for weeks.
The British can do it. Fuchs.
Absolutely.
It's your job, Teller.
I'm engaged in research.
On a hydrogen bomb we're not even building.
They won't let me leave.
No, I won't let you leave. Stay here. Research what you want. Fusion, the hydrogen bomb. Whatever. We'll meet to discuss.
You don't have time to meet. You're a politician now, Robert. You've left physics behind many, many years ago.
So the super was under development on your watch at Los Alamos.
Yes.
Yet, after the war, you tried to deny it was viable.
No. I pointed out technical difficulties with it after hours of discussion about the best response.
Take it away. Oh, it's in color now.
1,000
times the power of an A-bomb. The only intended target would be the largest cities. It's a weapon of mass genocide.
Izzy, draw some circles on this side of the map where they would target us, starting in New York.
When it's his memories, it's in color. When it's the other guys, it's black and white. Just so like we know who's recalling.
Maybe.
Do you understand? If we build a hydrogen bomb, the Russians will have no choice but to build it.
Could they be working on one already? Based on information gathered from a spy at Los Alamos.
No spy at Los Alamos.
Gentlemen,
There wasn't?
let's not get sidetracked. At this point, I'd like the committee members to meet in privacy to finalize our recommendations.
Now I have a weapon. His name is 11. I'm just kidding.
We are the advisory committee. We will give them our advice.
Oh, he's starting to like worry now. Before he was excited. And now it's like, okay, it's getting too far.
Well, it was Boris, right? But like he actually respected him.
Yeah.
He didn't respect, or like he didn't look at Einstein the same way.
Well, we at least have to take a moment to think about whether the means justify the ends any longer, because
You put up posters.
Upgrade.
He's about to surrender.
it's no longer the enemy who are the greatest threat to mankind. It's our work.
We can't end this war.
But how do we justify using this weapon on human beings?
We're theorists. Yes? We imagine a future, and our imaginings horrify us. Our work here will ensure a peace mankind has never seen. A peace based on the kind of international cooperation that Roosevelt always envisaged.
At gunpoint.
That's a very real
Progress?
2 years, $1
belief.
billion worth?
Strategy. Strategy even.
Not really, just add up the bills.
2 viable bombs. I need a date.
September.
July.
That's the sweet spot, gentlemen.
August.
July.
Damn.
Tests in July. But I need my brother.
What does his brother do again?
He's an engineer.
Frank knows the desert. He's left politics behind. He's been working with Barnes for 2 years now.
What do we call the test?
Batter my heart. 3-person God.
What?
Trinity.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a long name.
For atomic bomb testing, this is their barrier.
Damn.
I hope you learned something.
This seems enough.
We're gonna need to be a lot farther away. Well, figure it out.
You're a long way from Chicago, Leo.
If we don't act now, they're going to use this thing as Japan. We booked a meeting with Trumbo, but somebody killed it.
Just because we're building it doesn't mean we get to decide how it's used.
History will judge us, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, we put together a petition.
I'm not getting into that. Just tell me your concerns and I'll relay them.
My concerns? Germany is defeated. Japan's not going to hold out alone.
How could you know that? You got us into this. You and Einstein with your letter to Roosevelt saying we could build a bomb.
Against Germany.
That's not how weapons manufacture works.
I worry about an America where we do these things and no one protests.
Pearl Harbor and 3 years of brutal conflict in the Pacific buys a lot of latitude with the American public.
What are we estimating?
In a medium-sized city, 20 to 30,000 dead.
Yes, but don't underestimate the psychological impact. Atomic explosion. Deadly neutron effects for a mile in all directions.
Wind.
Single device. Dropped from a barely noticed B-29, the atomic bomb will be a terrible revelation of divine power.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
Military targets.
But there aren't any big enough.
Is there no way to demonstrate a bomb to Japan to provoke surrender?
We intend to demonstrate it in the most unambiguous terms. Twice. Once to show the weapon's power, and a second to show that we can keep doing this until they surrender.
List of 12 cities to choose
Oh
from.
my gosh.
Sorry, 11. I've taken Kyoto off the list due to its cultural significance to the Japanese people.
Oh, how kind.
Also, my wife and I honeymooned.
Oh my goodness.
Magnificent city.
But the other ones are okay.
The use of the atomic bomb on Japanese cities will save lives.
If we retain moral advantage.
How so?
Well, if we use this weapon without informing our allies, they'll see it as a threat. We'll be in an arms race.
When can we be with the Soviets? Secrecy won't stop the Soviets from becoming part of the atomic world.
Fair.
We've been told they have no uranium. You've been misinformed. That Stalin be included in the atomic project.
Informing him of our breakthrough and presenting it as a means to win the war need not make unkeepable promises. But the Potsdam Peace Conference in July will be President Truman's last chance to have that conversation. Can you give us a working bomb by then?
Absolutely.
Imagine driving this thing.
How are they gonna test this thing? It's just a mini version, I guess. Right?
Guess so.
That's what the radiation cloud.
Yeah.
Without high winds, it should settle within 2 to 3 miles. Evacuation measures are in place. But we need good weather for visibility, so it has to be fine. Go on the night of the 15th. It's a hard deadline. So if anyone has anything, speak now. Is there anything else that might stop us?
Hey,
It's happening, isn't it?
just got a newborn.
Where?
I'll send a message. If it's gone our way.
So we know.
My leg.
That is her.
Yeah, it has to be. Well, who's that though? Early tests.
3 kilotons, Telesing with 45, 20,000 tons of TNT.
Dude, that's-
And does anyone want the side action on atmospheric ignition?
Lightning circling. Think it might be time to tell your men to get away from the steel tower with the atomic bomb?
Honestly.
What is this doing? Raining, blowing lightning. For how long, damn it? Hold strong. It'll be before dawn. How could you know that? I know this desert. Storm cools overnight. Just before dawn, storm breaks. 5:30. Sign your forecast. If you're wrong, I'll hang you. Tell them all. 5:30. 5:30.
I'm betting on 3 kilotons. Anything less, they won't get what it is.
What did Fermi mean by atmospheric ignition?
Well, we had a moment where it looked like the chain reaction from an atomic device might never stop. Setting fire to the atmosphere.
And what was Fermi still taking side bets on it?
Call it gallows humor. In exactly 1 hour, 58 minutes, we'll know.
Just about how much longer there is in this movie.
It's moving up.
Is it? Are they actually dropping it from a plane?
From a plane. Did they say from a plane?
That's what they wanted because they want to test it the way it's really done.
They're heading this way.
That's why they put those lights on.
Turn the cars. Ready for?
But he said he'd rather drop it.
Everybody take a wellness class.
Whew.
Everybody take a wellness class.
That's all they have.
There's a gym.
Just protect their eyes because it's going to be so intense.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
That's what the flare means.
Get your popcorn out.
At least this guy's inside something. I thought it.
No.
Oh wow.
Stops the UV. But stops the glass.
Oh. That's a good point.
Try not to blow up the world.
Thanks.
All the work's done.
Well, they'll be dead and it won't matter then.
If the detonators don't charge and the voltage drops below 1 volt, you hit that button, you abort. Understood?
Understood.
How'd you drop this job?
It's actually a red button. It's
panic.
actually a.
Everybody down. Do not turn around until you see light reflected on the hills.
Oh, interesting.
Tyler's, I feel like, one of the smartest ones I've seen.
60 seconds.
Yeah, what he said about the glass makes sense now.
Like, it took that long to build a test one. And how long is it going to take to make an actual one?
I don't really understand. There we go.
Wait, was the H or A?
A bomb.
A. This guy's should I have gotten the glass?
What?
Nice to see it.
Oh, look at it, man. What a choice for the sound. Wow. A pillar of fire.
It's that mushroom cloud.
Wow. I wonder what it sounded like.
I'm surprised they don't have anything for their ears.
And now I am become death.
Hmm.
The destroyer of worlds.
There it is. Okay.
It's light first and then sound.
Yeah. So far away, right? The glass.
I'll see it.
It worked. If they detonated too high in the air, the blast won't be as powerful.
With respect, Dr. Oppenheimer, we'll take it from here.
Did Truman brief Stalin at Potsdam? A brief would be an overstatement. He referred to a powerful new weapon. Stalin hoped we'd use it against Japan. Should I come with you to Washington? What for?
I'm done with
Too
you.
invested.
Well, you'll keep me informed. Of course.
Well, you'll hear about it.
As best I can.
Yeah. Notice that they keep changing the aspect ratio?
What the hell does Seward know about the Japanese? I'm not signing it, are
I
you?
don't even know what that means.
Like now it's like wide.
Oh.
The fact that we built this bomb does not give us any more right or responsibility to decide how it's used than anyone else.
But we're the only people who know about it.
I've told Simpson the various opinions of the community.
But what's your opinion?
Once it's used, nuclear war, perhaps all war, becomes unthinkable. They would call.
It's only the 5th.
In Japan, it's the 6th.
What's he still doing here?
Yeah, what's the decision on this place now? Isn't it like...
Well, I guess they did say that the program has to keep running.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
The bomb had more power than 20,000 tons of TNT. It is an atomic bomb.
What is it even?
It is the harnessing of the basic power of the universe.
Grows on one.
I wanted to let you know that they used...
It went all right.
Apparently, it went with a tremendous bang.
Well, everyone here is feeling reasonably good about it. It's been a long road.
I think one of the wisest things I ever did was when I selected the director of Los Alamos.
This
is charming, I guess.
People celebrating.
What is thinking back to it? Like, obviously now he's potentially being charged with something. I'm just kind of thinking back over that. Yeah, I see it now, the separation.
World will remember this day.
Oh, is this Los Alamos?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
There's a little people.
It's too soon to determine
It's happening inside, right?
the results of the bombing are. But I'll bet the Japanese didn't like it.
Jeez. Yeah, that's hard.
I'm so proud. So proud of what you have accomplished.
Wow, this is so good.
Yeah. So many people tried to stop him, though.
I just wish
They're
we had
respected
any time to use
colleagues.
against the Germans.
Oh, jeez. They're all gonna be gone.
Gosh, yeah.
Oh!
Thinking if it's like used on them. Oh, gosh. Yeah. This is so well done.
Doctor, in the years following the war, would you say that you exerted a great influence on the atomic policies of the USA?
I think great would be an overstatement.
His brother was blacklisted by every university in the country.
Oh.
Lomanitz wound up working the railroad.
Wow.
Chevalier went into exile.
Dang.
He was devastated when Truman rejected their recommendation.
I miss Richard more than I can bear.
I know. I know.
I'm just glad he didn't live to see where this is all going.
I think it must have been a blow for you.
For the world.
The world? What is?
It's weird. It's a weird position to take after
Fuchs.
being in it for so long.
Klaus Fuchs, the British scientist that you put onto the implosion team at Los Alamos. Turns out he was spying
There it is.
Soviets the whole time. I'm sorry.
So the Russians
About Fuchs came out.
did have
The
him.
FBI stepped up surveillance on him. He knew his phone was tapped.
Huh.
It's followed everywhere. There's trash picked through.
You're not even subtle.
When Eisenhower took office, he saw one more chance. He took it.
He was a war hero. He'd already told everyone about his past.
Borden dredged it all up.
How could Borden get access to Oppenheimer's FBI file? Could it have been Nichols?
No, I can't imagine him do that. Whoever did unleashed a firestorm that burned a path from the White House right to my desk at the AEC.
This was taken 31 days.
Oh my gosh.
Virtually everyone in the street, nearly a mile around, was instantly and seriously burned. There were many who thought themselves lucky, who climbed out of the ruins of their homes, only slightly injured. But they died anyway.
The atomic bombings were not the last act of World War II, but the first act of this Cold War with Russia.
Which physicist?
I think you knew him. Patrick Blackett.
Professor.
Stimson is now telling me we bombed an enemy that was essentially defeated.
What was it you said about Borden? Why get caught holding the knife yourself? I'm beginning to think Borden was holding the knife for you. It wasn't Nichols or Hoover, one of Truman's guys. It was you. You gave the file to Borden. You set him on Oppenheimer. You convinced him.
Borden didn't take any convincing.
Take your time, use the entire file. Write up your conclusions, send them to the FBI.
There's nothing new here. Your conclusions will be.
Whoever passes them to McCarthy?
Oppenheimer's too slippery for that self-promoting clown. We need a systematic destruction of Oppenheimer's credibility so he can never again speak on matters of national security.
Wow.
Then what? Shabby little room, far from the limelight.
Oh, that's why it's always here.
I want a board. They will, of course, have counsel. Rob will have security clearance to examine Oppenheimer's file, as will the Gray Board. Defense counsel will not. No audience, no reporters, no burden of proof.
No burden of proof.
We're not convicted.
So what are they doing?
Just denying. This is just how the game is played.
Forgive my naivete.
Oh.
Tab 11, page 1, paragraph 2. You never said man of the consulate, expert in the use of microfilm.
I'm sorry. I would like to know what document Mr. Robb is quoting from and if we might be furnished with a copy.
The document is classified, Mr. Gates. There was a recording of the interview.
Oh. Dang.
You let my client sit here and potentially perjure himself. And all this time, you had a recording? Can we hear this recording?
You don't have the clearance.
Record. Please. Is it an entrapment or in truth? If it's truth, where's the disclosure? Where's the witness list?
Mr. Garrison, this isn't a trial, as you're well.
Wow, this is messed up.
Why lie? Well, clearly with the intention of not revealing who the intermediary was.
Your friend, Pacon Chevalier, the communist. Excellent. Do you have a copy of the letter? One in front of me. Would you please be so kind as to read it, sir?
Dear Mr. Hoover, the purpose of this letter is to state... I'm sorry, if I could have...
What is the purpose of the delay? He's simply going to read the letter.
Mr. Chairman, this is the first I've seen of this letter. Accusations of a kind that I don't think belong here.
The witness wrote this letter on his own initiative, laying out evidence that has already been before the board.
How long has counsel been in possession of this letter?
I don't think I should be subject to cross-examination by you.
Mr. Garrison, given that we on the board have all read the letter, wouldn't it be better to have it in the record? Let's proceed.
This is messed up.
Dear Mr. Hoover.
Oh, it is so unfair.
This letter is that more probably than not, J. Robert Oppenheimer is an agent of the Soviet. Following conclusions are justified. J. Robert Oppenheimer was a sufficiently hardened communist who volunteered information to the Soviets. 2. More probably than not, he has since been functioning as an espionage agent.
I'm sorry, Robert.
Intelligence and diplomatic policy
ever going to tell the truth about what's happening here.
I've been asked to testify about Louis Strauss, a man who has given years of service in high positions of government and who is known to be earnest, hardworking, and intelligent. Most of the scientists in this country would prefer to see Mr. Strauss completely.
Oh. Interesting.
Strauss did not bring the charges or participate in the hearings against Dr. Oppenheimer.
The Oppenheimer matter was initiated and carried through largely through the animus of Louis Strauss. Strauss's position on the shipments of isotopes to Norway, and Strauss never forgave him this public humiliation.
Wow.
Strauss turned to the personnel security system in order to destroy Oppenheimer's effectiveness.
Even his lawyer is like kind of happy about this.
Also disagreed with Oppenheimer's positions and made him his prestige in government circles. The record demonstrates that Oppenheimer was not interrogated by impartial and disinterested counsel for the Gray Board. He was interrogated by a prosecutor who used all the tricks of a rather ingenious legal background.
Oh.
If I were on the Gray Board, I would have protested against the tactics of the man who served, in fact, as the prosecuting counsel, a man appointed not by the board, but by Louis Strauss.
Can a distinction be made between Soviet communism and communism?
Well, in the days when I was a member, I thought they were definitely two things. I thought that the Communist Party of the United States was concerned with our domestic problems. I now no longer believe this.
Are you familiar with the fact your husband was making contracts?
If you're not gonna fight, I will.
42.
Yeah, seriously.
Gave money from time to time.
Did you know this money was going into Communist Party channels?
Don't you mean through?
Pardon?
I think you mean through Communist Party channels, don't you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Then would it be fair to say that this meant that by 1942 your husband had not stopped having anything to do with the Communist Party? You don't have to answer that yes or no. You can answer that any way you wish.
I know that, thank you. It's your question. It's not properly phrased.
Do you understand what I'm getting at?
I do.
And why don't you answer it that way?
Because I don't like your phrase. I know he gave money to Spanish refugees. I know he took an intellectual interest in communist ideas.
There are two types of communists. Intellectual communists and your plain old...
Yeah. Feels like he deserves it. He feels guilty.
Yeah.
Hey! I'm loving this.
Why is he so cute? It just came out of nowhere.
He wanted to be the man who moved the earth. He talks about putting the nuclear genie back in the bottle. Well, I'm here to tell you that I know J. Robert Oppenheimer, and if he could do it all over, he'd do it all the same. He wanted the glorious, insincere guilt to wear like a fucking crown. Say no.
He's like, I'm not
He does
moved at
not.
all.
He does not even want to entertain this.
If we did it, they would have to do it. Our efforts would only fuel their efforts, just as it had with the atomic bomb.
Just as it had with the atomic bomb, exactly. No moral scruples in 1945, plenty in 1949.
Did that just happen in his...
Dr. Oppenheimer,
Did he not say that?
I think he did.
when did your strong moral convictions
I don't
develop?
think so.
I gave him exactly what he wanted. To be remembered for Trinity. Not Hiroshima. Not Nagasaki. He should be thanking me.
In the light of your continuing associations and disregard for the security apparatus of this country, we have voted 2-1 to deny the renewal of your security clearance. A full written opinion with a dissent from Mr. Evans will be issued to the AEC in the coming days.
So that just means he can't leave?
That he's done working. He can't work on the projects anymore.
Maybe it's a relief.
Is it official?
Well, there were a couple of unexpected holdouts.
I'm denied. Yeah?
I'm afraid so.
Oh.
Who were the holdouts?
There were 3, led by the junior senator from Massachusetts. Young guy trying to make a name for himself, didn't like what you did to Oppenheimer.
What's his name?
Kennedy. on effort.
That's funny. Yes. What is it? It's about a bomb? What do you think?
It's probably nothing significant.
An equation. Like a joke.
E equals.
One day, when they've punished you enough, they'll serve you salmon and potato salad.
Oh, wow.
Like speeches. Give you a medal.
Wow, makeup is...
Yeah, honestly.
Dang.
These guys look the same the whole entire movie.
Hey.
When I came to you with those calculations, we thought we might start a chain reaction that would destroy the entire world.
And you did.
I remember it well.
I believe we did.
We did. They really did do it. Sees it.
Oh my, I didn't know it was a Christopher Nolan film.
Doesn't it make sense,
now the
though?
casting makes sense. And yeah, the explosion. Well, I mean, obviously the explosion is part of, it's kind of the center of the film.
For sure.
But he would take on something like this.
Yeah. All of it. The cinematography, the sound, the length of the movie.
True. What did you think?
I thought it was good. From a pure like movie standpoint, like I don't know, it was like I understand why it was like such a cinematic event.
Yeah.
And this would have been crazy to see in film.
Yeah.
I mean, in theaters.
For sure.
Especially that, like, everything that happened leading up to that first half, like when the bomb was tested. It felt like there's two different movies here. But that first little bit when they were actually creating the bomb and testing it, and it was just super visual. And I think that would have been really cool to see. Yeah, and the second half is just kind of it was definitely interesting to see like the aftermath of what happened and how he feels about it, and kind of those conversations. I don't know how much of this is creative license and how much of it actually happened. It's interesting. Like, I don't know too much about Oppenheimer at all. So but overall, I thought it was a really good one. It was just it was just heavy. It's a lot. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, obviously there's so much history and information that I wish I was like more well versed in. I think I would enjoy it more, like just to understand things that they're referring to, because obviously I know about Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like, it wasn't really a huge thing that was taught here for us in school. Like, we didn't spend that much length of time on it, but I only knew about it from like a world issues course, and then I took a course on war and film in university. Don't ask why. It's not pertinent. But there was actually another film, I have to look it up now, it was like a satire film about the atomic bomb. And some of the characters in here look so similar, so now I really want to look back.
That's probably
But
why.
it was like a satire, so it was like, it's a really well-known, like really acclaimed for its time. I think it was made like in the 60s or 70s, because how they made it was so silly, but so
well, they're probably parodying these people, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. So I feel like this was like a good, like a little bit more of like a history lesson too, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought it was really good, like how they showed just the impacts of, I don't know, like Oppenheimer. I didn't, like, honestly, I didn't really know much of. I didn't know much. I didn't think I really like cared. But watching it, I guess it's nice to know that you know he had
had regret.
That it, you know, created some serious. I mean, I don't want to say like I'm glad it created serious issues for him, but I mean, like, at least there was some. I don't know, empathy towards what he was doing and its implications, and so much bigger than the lives that were lost. Like, one, that's so heavy. One, to carry that burden, and then another to carry the burden of that chain he was talking about.
But
around the world.
I for sure. I just have trouble reconciling the fact that people were telling him exactly that throughout. And the moment it's actually used, that's when he has this moral high ground to tell people you can't keep doing this. Like that, I feel like that part of it is kind of messed up.
Well, it was a multiple year long project and situations changed over time. Like initially it was like obviously very emotional, the Nazis, he's Jewish. And so I'm sure it felt, and the excitement of quantum physics, bringing it to the States. And I feel like there's like he was primed in that moment to do that, and also to have like an emotional motive for his people, like humanity. Like they see what Hitler's doing, so it's like, yes, I want to be a part of what's going to take him down. But then the war ended, and then it was
but it wasn't. But it's not like he was only given warning about what it's gonna be when right before the war ended.
Yeah, I know.
It was throughout those 3 years.
Yeah. He seemed very confused. Like he seemed like he was very conflicted between, obviously this is his life's work, and this is how much time and money he's invested, and how much trust has been put on him by the whole country and allies, I guess. And it's like when you have all that, I think there's pressure to proceed, but then obviously morally, it's like there's like a discrepancy there, obviously, like from a values standpoint.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that he kept going back to was, if we don't build it, they will.
Yeah.
Even in that final
fear. Yeah.
That final, like, whatever that was, that testimony he was talking about, like, that's what he kind of doubled down on with the Soviets.
Yeah. And that was actually like the whole I don't know what word to use. Like that's the whole, like that was like the biggest fear of that time, like nuclear war during that time. In the 40s, 50s, 60s,
the Cold
70s.
War.
Yeah, that was such a scary time for the globe, for people around the world.
Well, it's exactly what he
it's all
feared,
like,
right?
Yeah, like that's how they fought wars at that time. Who has the bigger guns, and who is scared more, and who is bluffing, and like, it was just, that's the kind of strategy game that they were playing, and
this would have been beforehand, before all that. This is
I
what
think it's
caused
still part
all
of
of
the.
that.
No, I think that was even in the talks before this was made, because I think that's the reason why it was wanting to be built, because remember they were like kind of competing, like obviously they didn't have knowledge of what Russia already built, or like what maybe Germans have built, but they're just like trying to, like, who can build the biggest weapon.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the actual nuclear arms race, when it was like confirmed we have nukes on this side and that side, and we're just building it up.
Yeah, but I think still the strategy, the idea behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
And like starting to make those threats started, like a bit before, maybe. I don't know.
They referenced it here. They were saying that they would do it that way, but I don't know. But yeah.
War is sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just hard to, like, I've seen photos from that bomb, and it's like, it's just really.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not going to end, especially not with an arms race. It's just mutually assured destruction, right? Like that's the only thing that is keeping the world from being blown up. Is that
we don't all want to die.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly it. You just keep pointing guns at one another.
Yeah.
But from going back to like the technical aspect of the movie, I thought the writing was really good. In that, like.
Yeah, you're right.
The way that the story was told was so complex. Like, I'm trying to imagine what it would look like on a script. Like when he was talking about meeting with Pash, and then suddenly he was on a train recalling that story to the colonel, and then again that entire thing is being talked about at the hearing. It was crazy. Like all these little shots that they would have just had to take, and then place it within the actual storytelling. I thought it was really good, because it didn't really, like, it was jumping around a lot, but I didn't feel too lost. Like, I think it would have been cool to, at least maybe at the beginning when they established everything, to give dates about like when we're in this black and white, this is this timeline, but I think they just kind of let the audience figure that part out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't feel too hectic, even though it was just kind of all over the place.
It was. I think, that's what made it, like, at some points, like, really confusing for me. I think, like, I would have enjoyed it more if I knew exactly what was happening with the shots and how everything was laid out. Like, I think after maybe watching this maybe 1 or 2 more times, I could appreciate that more and understand it more,
9 hours later.
Yeah, exactly. But like for the very first time, you're trying to take in so much. Like you're trying to like listen to what's going on, understand the story, understand, like the sequence of things and people's perspectives and like all at once for me anyways. Like that's a lot for the very first time. So yeah, I know that like if I watched it a couple more times, I'd have like a better appreciation. I still really enjoyed it, but I think I'd have obviously like a way better appreciation for it once I understand those moving pieces.
Cool.
But yeah, overall, really good.
Cool.
The acting. Okay, all the people. Okay, can we look up now? Can we look up this?
It has to be her. Can't remember her name, but it's her.
Oppenheimer cast. Florence.
Emily Blunt, there you go.
There she is. Well, that's how you know the movie's really good when we're like, is it?
That was Gary Oldman? Harry Truman? President Truman was Gary Oldman.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad.
Wow.
That I thought, he's still around?
Maybe not.
Wait.
I mean,
he must be. If this just came out and then we didn't hear about it.
Well, it takes years for...
Yeah, no, I thought he like died a long time ago.
No, he's alive.
I know. Yeah, thanks. Oh, so great. Okay, yeah. Okay, this guy, I knew I recognized him, the one that was prosecuting.
Rob, yeah.
Yeah, Roger Robb. He's from, this sounds so, he's from American Ashley movie that I watched a long time ago. I was like, he's
in so much,
familiar.
and that's so...
Really?
Yeah, he's
well, obviously I haven't seen him in other things except in American Ashley movie when they were in Australia. Our lips are sealed. Shout out.
Okay, any other things that you want to mention about Oppenheimer? I think it's up for Best Picture.
Okay, I see that.
I don't know who has been winning in the... I think Oppenheimer has been winning Best Picture in like the other award shows.
Okay.
But you can definitely see that from just like all the technical aspects of it and just like filmmaking in general. Like from like a purist, I think it would be like, oh, this is like beautiful and stuff like that. And I don't know. I haven't heard anything about... Biopics are always weird. Like they have a way of twisting the story in a favorable light for people who might not have been that favorable, like The Greatest Showman. Right. So it's like I don't know. Like again, having prior knowledge of Oppenheimer and even just the Manhattan Project in general would have been good going into this. But
yeah, I agree. But
you know, not everyone's gonna have that, and this is partly in like a weird way educational, but definitely with a huge grain of salt. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed watching that one. Yeah, that was a big one. We're currently on a little bit of a binge going through all of the Oscar contenders. This one was a big one on the list. That's been on the list for a while. So hopefully you enjoyed that one.
Maybe we'll choose our own winner. Which one we thought was the best?
Maybe. If we do, you'll see that video, but I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching that one with us, and we will see you for the next one. Peace.